Hey everybody, we're live. We're back. It took a little longer than I at first forecast. I said 1 minute, then five. Said up to 5 minutes. It was I would say 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago,
Five set
thereabouts.
up to 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It
and so,
was,
but the
I would
bottom
say
line
15
is
minutes
that
ago.
we are absolutely
20.
back, and we're here, talking about the promised next subject, Sophie Cunningham, and let's get right to this incredible and incredibly fun story. It started right here with this action, this violent act against WNBA star Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever, formerly of Iowa. And what happened was it's not the best look. So, what I'm going to do, folks, is take it in slow motion rather than presenting it, you know, uh, straight away. But it's got to be understood in the context of here is Clark dribbling the basketball, right? And right here, okay? Uh, and looks like she's going for a layup, but then she gets clocked right in the right jaw. And just as she's doubling from that contact, and as a result drops the ball and is turning in pain, she accidentally bumps into the Connecticut Sun player, who then pushes her away violently. Violently. And so she's got two impacts to deal with. The initial one in her jaw, and then this one with number four pushing her away. And then here comes right from behind another player coming up right to her and harassing her. And then another player, and that other player, number seven, knocks her to the ground. All right? Completely unnecessary, completely violent, completely dangerous, and completely against the game. And all three of these Connecticut Sun players should have been ejected. Right there. Okay, there's no excuse for that. At all. At all. But you don't see any Indiana Fever players rushing in to defend. Okay? So that was the first part. So then uh, we have Sophie Cunningham coming in. All right? And someone said didn't know she was low key down like that. All right, let's get rid of the music. And this is what she did. Grabs. She was not playing around today. This is another game where actually the same game, where she grabs the same number four that hit Caitlin Clark and knocks her down like that. You see that? And knocks her and brings her down. Just whoop. Okay? See that? So she's not playing today. Nope, she wasn't. That's called exacting revenge. That's called defending your teammate. Arguably, they should have defended her earlier, but you know, uh, this got Cunningham a great deal of accolades.
Unknown caller.
And not only that, and not only that, it got Cunningham noticed by a ton of people, by a ton of people. And so they said she sat out, I think the next game or something. But then guess this is what she does after that. She gets into this lock with her. Okay, watch this. All right. Then she pulls her. All right. And and then she's got another Connecticut player she's dealing with. And she's pulling her. Sheldon is her name. And she's all right. Somebody put a snake in there. But at any rate, that was the next part of it. And so after all that, there was this, and there was the emergence of Sophie Cunningham, the the star, the model, the excuse me, the star and the model, and the WNBA symbol. And for some particular reason, everything got shifted out to Trump, which is, so I'm going to have to shift back here, right there, and go back here. So at any rate, I think I'll use this one as a better one, all right? Here's another shot of her getting into another skirmish full of players, and basically taking the whole matter of being the aggressor into her own hands. And then that leads to the model. Sophie Cunningham deciding that she's going to leg it all out is what I was going to say. I might as well just go with that. Leg it all out. And there you go. Pose for the camera. Looking like a Raiders fan in black. Now, hey Google, how tall is WNBA player Sophie Cunningham?
Here's some information from the web that might possibly help. On the website basketball.eurobasket.com, they say, Sophie Cunningham is USA basketball player born on August 16, 1996 in Columbia, Missouri.
A Leo.
She is a 6 feet 1 inch guard who most recently played at Indiana Fever in the WNBA.
6 feet 1. Right. So that's, as my friend Dino would say, is a long, tall Sally. There you go. And she proceeded to, well, make photographs like that one. And people are showing all kinds of videos of her saying, we need a Sophie on our team. And I'd like to have a microphone set up to find out what she's saying as she's laying out her punishment there. And then it leads to this. WNBA player, this is terrible. Sophie Cunningham is going viral after being ejected, standing up for teammate Caitlin Clark last night. Her jersey is now sold out. Will this get you to finally watch the WNBA? It should. I mean, wow. Okay, it should. You know what I love about this? People have criticized, some people, not me, have criticized women's basketball. And I've always said, and I said this back to Ann Warner Cribbs years ago. I have to explain this. I said, look, when she was pushing the ABA for women, I said, instead of having them wear men's shorts, that are down to the knee, have them wear shorts. They're women. Let men appreciate the women. And I don't get this kind of trying to make everybody the same sort of deal. It's not fun. Women watch the NBA because they like men and they talk about men. Same with baseball. I've been to baseball games where women will yell out all kinds of things referring to the anatomy of a man. All right? We're human that way. And we're designed to, well, as I say, procreate, right? Enjoy it. Why does it have to be this big issue of controversy? That I just don't get whatsoever. It's absolutely nuts. Instead, it's like people are trying to stop the advancement of our population, via, getting together in births and everything, right? Think about this. There are 4 ways, I'm going to go on a rant here, but births, deaths, okay, the 4 factors for population change. This is the population, okay? There's births and in-migration to cause population and area to increase, right? All right. Or let's just take it from the earth in general. There's births and deaths. If you slow down the births, you only get the deaths, and what happens? Your population declines, eventually to 0. You don't want that, okay? I don't want that. So why not encourage, that's right, appreciation of the female form for men, and sell some WNBA tickets, which will cause the WNBA to increase dramatically in value on a per franchise basis, and launch women's sports smartly into the 21st century as a value add proposition that I've said that it was for many, many decades. All right? Even before the WNBA. Okay? So this is fantastic. This is fantastic from a standpoint of self-esteem. This is fantastic from a standpoint of economics. This is fantastic from a standpoint of media. This is a can't lose situation, folks. Can't lose at all. Who's next? Hey, Angel Reese, get her up there. Not getting into a fight with Caitlin Clark. I think we need to stop that part, but just appreciation who they are as beautiful women. What about that? There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, if you are turned off by that, there's something wrong with you. Okay, I don't care. There's something wrong with you. This is awesome, absolutely awesome. Now, let's go back and okay. Well, we don't want that, of course. We were here. Uh, okay. Will it get you to finally watch the WNBA? All right. American UMC veteran says Sophie Cunningham just became a superhero overnight for letting all the tyrants in WNBA know not to mess with Caitlin Clark. It's game on. And Johnny St. Pete writes, Sophie Cunningham is the woman that defended Caitlin Clark after yet another night of rampant abuse, which is the other thing that's got to stop against Caitlin, when the Fever played the Sun. Fun fact, here her and her twin sister have been taking Taekwondo since she was a kid, so Caitlin couldn't ask for a better protector. I didn't know that. Hoo hoo hoo. Uh, Says Caitlin Clark finally had a teammate have her back after being ejected. Yep, that's right. I know she knew Taekwondo. Don't mess with her. Verbal Riot says maybe I should give the WNBA a chance. You think? How about that? Of course. Absolutely. This is another angle here of what happened to Caitlin. Look at this. All right. Now there's Sophie coming in immediately right there. Okay. All right. That was wrong. And so then she grabs that same number 4 and knocks her to the ground. That's a better angle. And then gets into a fight with all the rest of them. Yep. Don't mess with her. Don't mess with her at all. Wow. Wow. Okay, so everybody wants to know who she's dating. I want to know. Is she on the market? What's up? What's up with that? All right. So, all right. Some real talk here, folks. Right Angle News Network says breaking. The WNBA has decided to fine Sophie Cunningham for standing up for Caitlin Clark, who was thrown to the ground and had her eye poked out during last night's game, while none of the players who attacked Clark were fined. How about that, folks? None of the players that attacked Clark were fined. That's some garbage. All right, you got to be kidding me here. All right. All right, Jared Verse says this is standing on business. That's right. Standing on business. All right. And Jose De Jesus Ortiz writes, the trio of WNBA refs failed miserably during the Indiana Fever's victory over the Sun. Marina Mabrey should have been ejected for shoving Caitlin Clark. J.C. Sheldon got schooled when she attempted to charge Sophie Cunningham. Yep. And Scott Young says, does it help to be a multi-sport athlete? Asks Sophie Cunningham, who not only helped her high school basketball team in Missouri win 3 straight state titles, but also played volleyball and kicked for the school's football team. Well, hey, let's not forget the Taekwondo part either, folks. And so, all right. So then it reads, Sophie Cunningham would drag you by the head and blank talk you the whole way. Respect. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear the blank talk. After having Clayton Clark's back, everyone will know who Sophie Cunningham is now. That's right. That's right. We can't see that enough, folks. Finally, a teammate got Caitlin Clark's back after the assault she's taken tonight. Sophie Cunningham, you are a G. Yes, ma'am, you certainly are a G. Yep. Sophie Cunningham over the years. Don't mess with Sophie. Period. All right? And Sports Ball says the Fever is doing an excellent job of bringing new fans to WNBA. First with excellent athletes from Caitlin Clark, or excellent athletics, from Caitlin Clark, an amazing spunk from Sophie Cunningham. Huge departure from prior focus on, I don't like this, okay? Black lesbian market? Oh, come on, give me a break. All right, there are a lot of attractive black women who are not lesbian. All right, and not only that, there are a lot of attractive black women who are lesbian because, from my personal experience, I will have to tell you that doesn't matter to the extent you think it does. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, the bottom line is, let me put it this way: WNBA women love men. Period. I don't care who they are. All right. Okay. That's just a fact. All right. So get that out of your mind. And with that guy who wrote that, I'm sorry, I didn't. I should have read that entire way before I presented it because I agreed it. But the first part, the second part, he could have trashed. Forget him. All right. That's just hilarious. Okay. Caitlin Clark with her security guard. Oh, this is the best right here. Caitlin Clark with her security guard, Sophie Cunningham. There you go. Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, we're big fans of Sophie Cunningham. Uh, I'm telling you that. There you go. Congratulations, Sophie. All right, Jason Whitlock. Oh man, Jason Whitlock said last night Sophie Cunningham let the entire WNBA know that the Fever aren't punks. She's the enforcer that Caitlin Clark needs. This type of attitude will bring a Fever a championship. Yeah, but see, do I have to share this with him? Ah. Oh no. Tarabola says breaking. Sophie Cunningham jersey sells out after defending teammate Caitlin Clark in heated brawl. Sorry Angel Reese, the WNBA has their new second star. Yes. Wow. And finance guy wife says this woman is a badass and is my new favorite WNBA player. And we're gonna see that forever. That's iconic. That thing's gonna be iconic. It says Cunningham did it all in high school, including winning 4 straight state championships with Rockbridge. Dave Portnoy says I was playing trivia and missed this. I blanking love Sophie Cunningham. About time somebody said enough is enough. You cheap shot, Caitlin. We will get you. Yeah, yeah. She's the star. Okay, can't really shown that. Steve Eubanks writes, on Monday, I would not have known Sophie Cunningham if she had knocked on my front door. Now I know that she's filled in as a high school field goal kicker and was one of the best female basketball players in America. The point is, story matters. Okay. And Shawnee says Sophie Cunningham got that dog in her. Look at it. Look how she was telling that eye poker about herself as she gently stroked her mane. Fun fact: Sophie Cunningham is a Leo. Her birthday is August 16th. All right. So there you go. Somebody made this. This is cool. Pretty cool to see former Mizzou star and current Indiana Fever guard Sophie Cunningham emerge as one of WNBA's new Avengers this week. To which somebody made this. How about that? How about that? She's not quite that buffed, but maybe this will be a signature for her to get buffed. Yeah, the WNBA should really encourage that in their athletes to make them superheroes, right? Because they are. Stand on business. Okay. Wow. All right. So, okay, I think you've got it. You got the message. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for viewing. You want more like this? Subscribe to Zinni62 on YouTube. We'll be back with more WNBA action. Also,
Unknown caller.
Oakland needs its own WNBA team. Nothing against the Valkyrie. All right, nothing against the Valkyrie, but Oakland needs its own WNBA team. We have an arena of NBA level quality. Just needs an upgrade about the galley area and the far part of the throughput area. That's it. We have the freeway. We have everything. All right, we have everything. We need a WNBA team to compete against the Valkyrie. Have a Bay Area rivalry once again. Right now, we have no Bay Area rivalry because Oakland doesn't have a team. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad for the Bay Area. We need rivalries in baseball, football, and basketball. That's what we had. That's what works. Go Sophie Cunningham. Go Angel Reese. Go Caitlin Clark. Go WNBA, but go Oakland getting a WNBA team. Oakland's got to step up too. We need a proposal out there. We'll see you, folks. That ends the stream. Thank you.